Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zheng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Tubten Dorshi. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice today, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Sumo, Tanchen Katsu, Tubten Siddhi, Tubten Kama. All Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
사랑해. Hola amigo. Que quiero mucho. Scoin. 이지바. 김어지. 지음이. 냐비. 뿌리뿌리. 고마워.
Today, this evening during the group practice, I kept my eyes closed. I only have one earthquake. I just swayed once and quickly returned to my position. So luckily, I still remembered that we are practicing Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva is my yidam of vows. That the vows I made is the same as the vows generated by Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. Therefore, he's my yidam of my vows. Just now, when I closed my eyes, I have gone to Mount Juhua. Anyone has been to Mount Juhua? Please raise your hand. Someone's been there. Long, tall steps. Anybody has been to Huangshan? Some people have been there too. They're both at Anhui province. Anyone has been to the northern Anhui province? Please raise your hand. Anybody from Anhui here? Wow. You came from Anhui? What? What does it mean? I was born in Taiwan, but ancestors from Anhui.
你是等于是说，你的上一代是到台湾来，是安徽人。对，安徽的。
So your parents from Anhui, but you were born in Taiwan. Which part of Anhui?
爸爸妈妈。
爸妈是那个安徽庐江，北安徽。
哦，在北安徽。
是的，是的。
哇，很好。
So it's
好，请坐。
Northern Anhui, my parents.
因为我的法身在安徽。
Because I have a Dharma body in Anhui.
法身在安徽。
One of my Dharma bodies.
也是在北安徽。
Also in the Northern Anhui.
也是在北安徽。毕竟，地藏王菩萨，他在九华山。
Because Siddhikapa Bodhisattva is at the Mount Jiuhua.
是一个很有名的画家。
And Huang San, a very famous painter, visited Huang San 9 times. And therefore painted the scenery of Huang San. And the name is Liu Haisu, the painter. 9 times to Huang San, Mount Yellow, to paint there. And the pines at Huang San are very famous. And also the Huang San itself, the mountain, is very famous. Very tall, vertical, very beautiful scenery paintings with ink painting by Liu Haisu, 9 times to Huang San. And Siddhikapa Bodhisattva are on very good term with myself, are very kind to me. I have told you this one time. On the Dharma throne, I was very sleepy and was swaying back and forth, and he seated behind me. So he took a seat belt, just like the car seat belt. And I said, no need to tie me up. I'm just very natural. If I feel I'm feeling sleepy, then I would drowse. People retire at 65 and I'm 81. How can I not drowse on this Dharma seat? When you're old and you're drowsy, in the past, giving Dharma teaching, we are seated on a bed, like a very wide seat, not like the seat that's very small. If had it been a bed, you could add a pillow and a blanket, and I would become a lying Buddha. And then on it I can give Dharma teaching too. And before in Nepal, at the monastery, I was also seated on the bed, which meant that I was recognized as a living Buddha, Rinpoche. And in the future, we will also recognize a few little Rinpoches where they are reincarnated from, and they were past Rinpoches being reincarnated. It can be confirmed. I was at the Karma-Liche temple. I'm 81. According to Taiwan calendar, 1945. I am 81 according to Taiwanese calendar. And American or Gregorian calendar, I would be 80. I am 80. That would be 80. So, Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, I told him there's no need to put on the seatbelt for me. If I'm falling asleep, just let me be. If you don't like it, you always want to see me upright. What can I say? When I was young, I don't care, especially now when I'm old, it's even more so. I am the way I am. Whatever I feel. Confucius said, you can have your wishes fulfilled as long as you don't go over the boundary. You can just do what your heart's desire as long as you don't go overboard or not across the boundaries, or you don't violate the major precepts or gravely violating precepts. So it's unavoidable to make small mistakes, but you should not make major mistakes. There are a few jokes that's last minute. Because the jokes that were given to me earlier, I left them at home. So at the last minute, I asked people to find some jokes right away. Because it's about time to give Dharma teaching. Adam and Eve got married, and what is the most regretful thing? That nobody came to congratulate them. What can you do when you've lost your ID? Or when you drop your ID, then pick it up. Which disciples of what schools never lie? Shen Ching, which is all true school, It's the name of the. This is a play of word.
就是在北京这个
I visited the
有一个白云观
the
新教
the center or the temple
全真教
called Bai Yun Guan in Beijing.
小说就知道，全真
If you read Jin Yong's novels, you would know.
王重阳
Wang Chongyang is the founder of the school.
王重阳，邱处机
Qiu Chuji
啊，邱长春呐、
or Qiu Changzun,
马玉、孙不二，
Ma Li, Sun Bu Er.
其实他们是
That's the wife. And they're all cultivators.
是
This school,
也是一样的，把头发理掉，
all the same, also shave their heads.
虽然是属于道家的，是
Although they belong to Taoism,
全
the northern Taoism,
是北
Quan Zhen,
王
all
重阳、
true
邱
school.
长春、
Wang Chunyang, Qiu Changzun,
不二
Ma Yi, Sun Bu Er, and a few more
叫钱
Taoist masters.
金庸小说把它写成他，
Quan Zhen, the seven
其实他们真正是学
sons, I guess, of Quan Zhen. They all have great kung fu powers, but they're also all spiritual cultivators.
他们不是一般的道长或道士，
They are not just an ordinary Taoist masters or priests.
独生的，像那个马玉跟孙不二，
They are
两个
also
人本来是 是夫妇的，
celibates.
后来分
Ma Yi and Sun Bu Er were a couple, but then they cultivated separately.
钱真安，钱真
And Sun Bu Er had the temple called Quan Zhen An and became a monastic and cultivated. And Ma Yi cultivated at the Mount Kunlun.
不二，他先得道，
Sun Bu Er attained the Tao first.
得道飞行到昆仑山，去跟马
And she flew to Mount Kunlun and
以后你
told Ma Yi that I would leave first and you will follow later.
是有这种
When she attained the Tao, such an event occurred.
独身修行，
So they cultivated in solitary, very close to Buddhist practice. That's called Quan Zhen Jiao, or school, or sect of Taoism.
为什么爷爷送小明一份生日的礼物，
Why Grandpa give Xiaoming
却一
a
脚
birthday gift, but Xiaoming just kick it away? Why?
因为送的是足球，
Because Grandpa gave him a football.
老王啊，每天要刮很多遍的脸，
Lao Wang shave his
刮很多。
beard several times a day.
为什么老王的脸上还是有胡子？
But why his beard is still on his face?
因为他是替别人刮脸。
Because he shaved other people's beard.
那是问答题，也不是笑话。
That's Q&A, not jokes.
好，我们进入主题。
Now we'll get to the main
新
topic.
加坡的莲花一望，
A question from Lianhua Yiwang from Singapore. Like Lian Wang.
他好像问过我，
This person has asked before.
地址在你2025年
Hi, I
4
disciple.
的晚上，同学
On April 19, 2025,
答一个
during the group practice in the evening, I heard you answer a fellow disciple's question.
世界时，
You mentioned that in the Sukhavati or Western Pure Land of utmost bliss, one must cultivate the 37 aids to enlightenment, which includes the fourfold mindfulness. I have a question. The Amitabha Sutra tells us that once we reach Sukhavati, we can cultivate in a state of complete joy until attaining Buddhahood, and those that are born there will never regress to samsara. Since in the Pure Land one feels joy every day and never fall back to samsara or non-regressing, why is it that they still need to cultivate the fourfold mindfulness of the 37 aids to enlightenment, which is contemplating the body as impure, feelings as suffering, the mind as impermanent, and everything has no self? I understand that beings in Sukhavati have sublime bodies, so there is no defiled karmic body on which to truly apply the fourfold mindfulness. So, if we cultivate them, how do we do that? Is it just merely going through the emotion, or is it that the mixed Pure Land of mundane and sage is actually similar to human realm, that we still have material defiled bodies? So let me tell you, in Sukhavati there is the pure eternal light Pure Land. That's the Pure Land for the Dharmakayas, very high realm, all Buddhas. Dharmakaya Buddhas are at the first level, and the Sambhogakaya Buddhas are at the second and third level, and Nirmanakaya Buddhas at the fourth level, which is the mixed Pure Land of mundanes and sages. So those beings there are reborn there still with karma. Many people ask this. The Buddhists in Taiwan, in the Buddhist world, often ask this question. So, to go to Sukhavati, do you need to eliminate all of your karma, or you can be reborn with karma, with still remaining karma? So you still have karma, but you can also get to Sukhavati. In the lowest level, the mixed Pure Land of mundane and sages, they are Nirmanakaya Buddhas. They live together with the mundane beings. So the Nirmanakaya Buddhas influence the mundane beings. In that mixed Pure Land of the mundane and sagely beings. Since you're still mundane beings, that means that your karma is not completely eradicated. So there was a debate in the Buddhist world. To go to Sukhavati, the purified bodies without any karma, or you still be reborn in Sukhavati with remaining karma. Let me tell you, if the requirement is to have the karma completely eliminated, there would not be many at all to be able to go to Sukhavati. All of us, all Buddhists would want to go to Sukhavati, but not many can. Why? Because we all have karma. So once I asked, anybody without affliction? Is there anyone without afflictions at all? Please raise your hand.
有谁没有烦恼？
Is there anyone without affliction at all? Most of us have.
你既然有烦恼，就有业障。
Since you have afflictions, that means you have karma.
没有执着，没有烦恼。
If you have no afflictions, no attachments, you have eliminated those, then you have cleared your karma. You have no more
表
karma.
示你还有业障。
But if you have afflictions, that means you still have karma. If you still have attachments, that means you still have karma.
那谁能够去啊？
So
极乐世界根本没有人，
anybody can go? Nobody.
因为还有业障。但是你有善根，
You still have karma, but you have good roots. There are only two requirements to go there. First, you have to have good roots.
你就可以去。
If you have good spiritual roots, then you can go there.
当然了，那个
Of course,
最殊胜的身体，
the most supreme bodies
在长吉光土，
is at the pure eternal light, Pure Land.
十报庄严土，最胜殊胜的身，
And also
也是最殊胜的身。
in the
圣同居土，
in the second and third level, they're all supreme bodies, but not in the fourth level, the mixed Pure Land. That's not that great. You still have karma. That's why it's called mundane.
你是圣的话，你就没有业障。所以西方极乐世界，
Otherwise, if you're sage, then you have no more karma.
你符合了两个条件。第一个，
So in Sukhavati, you can be reborn with karma. You need two requirements. First, you have to
你是
have superior root, and second, that you can be single-minded in chanting the Buddha's
就
name.
给你带到凡圣同居土。你到了凡圣同居土，
Then you can be brought to the mixed pure land
方最高
of mundane and sages. Then you still have to cultivate there because that's just a midway point. And once you attain Buddhahood, then you can rise to the pure eternal light, Pure Land, the first level. But the environment in Sukhavati is marvelous. You're very blissful there, much better than the heavens.
那里有微妙的天音，
There are the marvelous,
自然
wonderful
就会修行。
heavenly sound that upon hearing it, you will cultivate automatically.
这个《楞严经》里面会讲到的
It will be mentioned in the Surangama Sutra.
四念处，四念是观身不净，
And one of them is the fourfold mindfulness
圣同居土，你还是烦
to
恼，
observe that the body is impure.
是不干净的，不清净的。
So because in that mixed pure land, your body still have karma.
业障，那个业障就是
So the body is impure and feelings is suffering. The karma is suffering.
知道了。
And be mindful that the mind
心的想念
is impermanent
观法无我，
and everything is without self.
因为到无我的这个，必须要修行到无我的这个境界。无我，
So you need to cultivate so that you reach no self, because by having self, you have attachments. When you eliminate self or ego,
大家一样。
then you're the same as everybody else, like the Dharmakaya Buddhas.
我们人的心都是无常。
Our mind is impermanent. You like it today, you don't like it tomorrow.
你看那个结婚离婚的，
Look at people getting married and getting divorced. When they get married, they like each other, and when they get divorced, they dislike each other. that's impermanence.
今天爱，明天不爱。
You love them today and you don't love them tomorrow. That's also impermanence. You love today and you hate tomorrow.
是变化。
The mind and the heart
你遇到
is ever changing.
情人看刀你就知道。
When you see a lovers with a knife, then you would
爱得
know
要命啊！
they love you so much
当要分手的时候啊，
that when you want to separate,
就是
they'd rather kill you.
杀一刀，我爱你，
Like
杀两个。
say, I love you, and then kill, and then chop. Love you and chop again. That's impermanence of the mind and the heart.
变来变去的，
It's ever changing.
能够永恒的没有多少。
Not very many people that can last.
真的，
That's why many
考验，
divorces.
考验。
Getting married is a kind of test.
所以凡圣同居土是待业往生。
Trial. So the mix pure land of mundane and sages, that's being reborn with karma.
我是这样子讲的。
But the other three levels of pure lands in Sukhavati are without karma. Where did Grandmaster Lu come from? Amitabha Buddha. That's why I know things about Amitabha Buddha.
我跟观世音菩萨很熟，
I am very close to Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Very close.
我常常问观世音菩萨，
I often ask Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva,
世界做什么？
why do I come to the Saha
现
world?
在娑婆世界没做什么，
And Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva told me, you don't do anything in the Saha world. So it's quite puzzling. She said, I don't do anything. In this lifetime,
我也是弘扬净土啊。你看，
I spread the Pure Land,
念佛者同生极乐国，上报四重恩。
our merit dedication.
见佛
May all uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, repaying for generosity from above, aiding those in the three realms below.
密教的回向是直接
Seeing the Buddha, may we transcend life and intellect the Buddha, may live. That's the dedication of the Pure Land sect. The tantric dedication is to radiate light all over the body and attaining Buddhahood directly in this lifetime.
这个
But in the Pure Land school, Amitabha Sutra,
无量
Amitabha
无量寿经，好，
Longevity Sutra,
三经一论，净土中的主要是三个经典，一个论就往生论。
3 sutras and 1 treatise on the deliverance treatise.
是大日经，主要是大日经。
And in Tantrayanas, mostly is the
神加持经，
Vajrasakhara Sutra
毗卢遮那佛神变加持经，
and Vairocana Sanbian Jatsuji. There are 2 sutras.
另外一部经典叫什么？《金刚品经》。
Vajrasakhara Sutra.
楞严经因为有楞严大咒，所以他们讲说出自于密教部。
Vairocana Sutra, Vajrasakhara Sutra, and Surangama, because of the mantra, they considered belonging to the Tantrayana but it looks a little like a thesis. I asked Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, what should I do next? And she said, whatever, it's up to you. Wow, that's great. The answer, yeah, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, how come you are different from the statues that we have in the Saha world? Why the one that I saw is different from all the statues? And then they said that I just change to whatever I like. You see all different kinds. And I asked them, don't you live in temples? No, I never go to temples. But why don't you ask us to build temples? They're spiritual cultivation centers for humans, not for me. So you never stay in temples? No. It's too stuffy inside temples. I don't like it. And not all temples are clean. So they don't stay much at temples. That's what they say. Direct answers. So when I heard that, I was a little bit befuddled. How come all the Avalokitesvara or Kuan Yin that I saw are different from all the statues? And then they say that they have many forms, and whatever forms they like. And why did you want me to come to Saha world? What should I do in the Saha world? You didn't do anything, that's the answer. So, what should I say? It's impossible to communicate. It's very funny. That's my dialogue with Avalokitesvara or Kuan Yin Bodhisattva. That's a lot of fun. I want to follow you, and then they say, well, when it's time, you'll naturally come. There's a man on the street trying to pick up a beautiful lady. Hey lady, you're so beautiful, what do you do? And she said, surface. And the man is very happy. I want to be your customer. Where do you work? And she said, at the crematorium. When are you coming? Ahua worked at the HR, and last week was a change. Oh, this is Chinese word. Chinese play of word. It sounds like, oh, she's left. Okay, now let's discuss the Surangama Sutra.
这阿难尊者啊，这阿难，
Ananda,
譬如有人所主厌安，百
if there is a person whose hands and feet are at ease, their entire body comfortable, that they momentarily forget their own existence,
二手掌，
abiding in a state without resistance or compliance,
二手中，
then for no reason this person rubs their palms together in empty space, and between the two hands illusory sensations arise, roughness, smoothness, cold, and heat. You should understand that the skandha of sensation operates just this way.
既能
Ananda,
何不畜生？
these illusory sensations do not come from space, nor do they arise from the palms.
掌
So Ananda, if they arose from space, why would they only touch the palms and not the rest of the body? It makes no sense for emptiness to choose where to make contact.
腕、骨髓、阴结
If they originate from the palms, they should not require physical contact to be felt. Moreover, if the palms truly produce them, then when pressed together, the palms would receive the touch. But once separated, the sensations would retreat inward. In that case, the arms, wrists, even bone marrow should detect movement as they withdraw. If there were truly a perceiving mind that could track the sensations entering and existing, some independent master passing through the body, why would they recognize as touch?
现在所受的
Therefore, the sensation is deception, is illusion.
是幻想，
So everything, all sensations are illusory.
讲那么多，其实只有一句话：
Actually, with such long
五蕴
words, actually just one
都是
statement,
假的，
that all the five aggregates, the five skandhas, are all false.
都是假的。
Form, sensation, perception, mental formation, and consciousness are all illusory, false, deceptive,
自然
unreal.
因缘，
They don't naturally exist. They don't
就开始
exist due to causes and conditions.
我们上个礼拜讲色，
Last week, he talked about form,
就是虚妄；
that it is
现在
illusory.
讲触，
Now,
就是受。
he talks about sensation or touch. That's also illusory.
坦白说，它的文字非常的深涩，
So the wordings are very terse and cryptic, and reading it you can't understand, and it's not a very good example.
它是这样的讲：你天气冷，我们像我们天气冷，
Like, say,
健康
when the weather is cold,
有一个人，
when someone is healthy,
他的手跟脚都是很健全的、很健康的，
that they
他
have
的全身
healthy hands and feet, the whole body is comfortable, no illness.
这个时候啊，他的这个也没有什么叫做顺，也没有什么叫不顺，
So there's no such thing as
也可能是天气冷吧。
compliance or non or resistance.
啊，互相摩擦，
So this person rubbed their palms,
有的感觉到涩，因为呢，
and sometimes you feel a roughness.
他们哦不滑，有时候
It's not smooth,
滑，你
and sometimes it's smooth.
或者感觉到很 good。另外也有感觉到，哎，
Or rough,
冷，有时候热，
and sometimes warm, sometimes cool.
它就越热。
The more you rub, the warmer it gets. Like in winter,
摩擦它就热，
The hands were cold, and then after rubbing them, they become warm.
从哪里产生的？
So where did the warmth come from?
是你掌心产生热吗？不是你掌心。
Is it from the palms that generate the
因为
heat?
摩擦才产生热。
It's generated because of the rubbing.
你不摩擦怎么会热呢？
If you don't rub them, then the heat,
那这是从
how can it be warm?
也不是从。
Does it come from this empty space? No.
如果热是从虚空来的，
If the warmth comes from the space,
哪个地方热，哪个地方就热。
so whichever part of the body you want it warm would be warm immediately.
那热也不是从你掌心发出来的，
So the warmth is not also
哪里来？
arising from the palms. So where did it come from?
所以他认为所受的，这个就是
So everything that we feel or sense are all
那这一段
false and illusory.
很那个，其实简单一句话就解决。
This excerpt is long, but actually in one statement it's done.
触、接触、
Touch,
不接触，
then you would feel it. Without touching, you would not feel it. So where did the feeling come from?
所以这个触也是希望。
So touch too is illusory.
受、受。
Form
你说我们受苦，
sensations
我们人都是苦。
or feelings. We are all humans, and humans suffer.
你苦在哪里？
Where is your suffering? Show it to me.
没有啊，苦哪不
Nothing. You cannot show
说
it.
你现在很快乐，
And you say you're very happy now. Where is it? Show it to me.
没有啊，
Get it out. Nothing.
拿不出来。
You cannot.
所以啊，很多事情
Therefore, many things are very illusory, very unreal.
手伸出去，
Let me give a few examples.
手伸出去，
You close your eyes, extend your arm,
你摸，哇，
and you touch something that's very soft, smooth skin.
摸呢？这是谁的身体？
Whose body is this?
快乐产生出来，
And you start to feel happy.
就把你的那个绑的眼睛，你不要看，
And you have a band over your eyes.
打开，
And then when
原来
it's
是一个
taken
白色
off,
母猪，
it turned out to be a pig.
你一下子快乐的感觉就没有。
So your joy disappeared.
你以为是美女的皮肤啊？
You thought it was the skin of a lady, a beautiful lady, very delicate and smooth,
张开眼是一条母，
and felt really good rubbing,
那快乐
caressing it. But when you open your eyes, and it turned out to be a pig, and your joy disappeared. That's the sensation.
他们有两个手
It's a
掌，
very,
色有滑，
very.
那
That example will be better
有这条歌嘛？
than the palms and rubbing and
好歌的时候，
such a cold hand. That's a song that's called that. The little cold hands. Anybody can sing that song?
我刚刚会唱，刚刚我在眼睛闭起来，我就在哼一条歌。
Just now, when I closed my eyes, I was humming a song. Lullaby, lullaby.
小鸟会巢去，太阳也要休息。到天亮出太阳，又是鸟语花香。到天亮出太阳，又是鸟语花香。快快睡。
Sleep quickly, my baby, my dear. And then I fall asleep. To Mount Jiuhua. That's a lullaby. So when you sing this song, you would think about falling asleep. When you don't sing this song, you also fall asleep. So let me ask all of you, how do you fall asleep? At night, on your bed. Everybody has their own ways. In the best posture, have the best breathing, and you think of something. If you can't fall asleep, you start counting the sheep. 1 sheep, 2 sheep, 3 sheep. Some people sleep really easily. As soon as they lie in bed and not doing anything in particular and fall asleep, they haven't even put themselves in position. I have a position when I sleep. The best position to fall asleep, and then you fall asleep. That's all called sensation. It's very illusory, very false, very unreal, deceptive even. Like seated on the Dharma throne with eyes closed, not thinking of anything, and fall asleep. And some people need to rely on something before they can fall asleep. So, feelings, if you say you feel happy, where does happiness come from? You feel suffering, where does suffering come from? Can you take them out? You can't. So, sensations I'm rather wide open. I'm not narrow-minded. Say as you walk by someone coming toward you, and they don't even look at you, or they even glared at you, then you would suffer for 3 days. Why did she glare at me? And you would keep thinking about it. Why? And you suffer for 3 days. That person not only ignored me, they glared at me. And then you suffer for 3 days. But isn't that just very, very false, very unreal? How can does it really exist? Who knows? Maybe that person always have that glaring look. They didn't even notice you, so you suffer for 3 days for nothing. So this sensation or feeling is really very deceptive, very illusory. Or you talk to someone and you feel very happy, and you talk to another person and you feel very, very despicable. Grandmaster loves young, beautiful girls. Then I would feel happy. And then when I see barrels of oils or fierce faces, then I would feel unhappy. But when I see beautiful faces, then I feel happy. When I was young, when I see girls wearing mini skirts, you would feel happy for no other reasons. Now it's summer, many people wear lots of mini skirts. And when I see those, when you see those, you would feel happy. But when you see big round people wearing long robe, then you don't really like looking at those. But those are all just very false and illusory. That's something that you can feel personally. But Sakyamuni Buddha gave an example about rubbing the palms. And if you put some powder, it would feel smooth, and without it, you would feel rough. That's quite meaningless example. And he asks you, does the warmth come from the palms? No. Does it come from the empty space? No. Because if it comes from the empty space, then it would come entering and exiting. If it comes from the empty space, how comes only the warmth is only on the palms and not at any other parts of the body? That's what's in this excerpt. So that's why sensation is illusory, not real. And what example that I just give would be understandable, more understandable. Like a man seeing a woman with miniskirt. There was a joke that when a man saw a woman with a very short miniskirt, and a man sat next to her, and he asked her, "Where did you buy your miniskirt?" And the woman said, "I don't buy such a miniskirt." Why? Because wearing this kind of skirt, then many men would try to hook up with you. Because the miniskirt is too short. Why the cheerleaders or the Korean teams wear very short skirts and even showed the underwear a little bit? And why? In the chest area is Why? Because so the people who see them would get hot, would feel warmth, and the legs are all fair and long and beautiful, and when they move their bodies are very good looking. Why don't they find those big and fat ones? So when you see those cheerleaders with short skirts, then you would be applauding. But when they're performed by people with bad figures, then you don't feel that. I give these examples because such sensations or feelings are actually illusory and false. I give examples that's very modern and you can relate right away. So the Korean cheerleaders, say at the airports, and the fans, and there are many fans, the slim with good figures, they all have many fans, and those with beautiful faces have fans, but those who look fierce and don't have any fans. But that's all just deceptive, right? Right? When I say that in Cantonese, why the Cantonese sigh? In Taiwanese, that's right? Right or not? But the Cantonese say, no, don't use that word. And for the Taiwanese, when you say that, it's like, right, that's very happy. But the Cantonese always grimace. And I ask why? Can't you say that? Actually, it's all just false appearances. Just so my examples are modern. Sakyamuni Buddha used the palms rubbing, smooth or rough, cold or warm, coming and exiting from where, why, can you feel it or why not? But actually, it does not arise due to dependent rising or nor self-arising. Oh, I've talked so much about this piece for this long. But my examples would be more clearer. See, look at the Korean cheerleaders. They what do they have? Just maybe good figure, good faces, and maybe just moving, just kind of twist their bodies a few times. But if you ask, older woman with bad figures, twisting their bodies there, is there anything to look at then? No, right? Why? The cheerleaders always use girls and not boys or men. That's the issue. So when we chant the Buddha's name, wow, what a beautiful lady. Then it'll feel different. So that's very conflicting. The villagers could not understand the city dwellers. Why the city dwellers would get on the elevators, coming down the stairs, and then go to the gym, and then get on the treadmill. They could just walk on the stairs. And at night, when it's time to sleep, they don't sleep, and they don't get on the internet. And then when they can, and then they take sleeping pills. And call the kids, your dog, and then they call the dogs, hey, my dear sons. They eat big meals, but talking about losing weight, about the harms of obesity, but yet they eat so much. And they have a few hundred contacts, but none of them is the next door neighbor. And they feed the dogs the best meat, but they go to the restaurant and eat wild veggies. In the morning, when I left home to go to work, and when I opened the car door, there's a little note by the wife. Please put in the gas, and there's a little heart. But in Chinese, this means like, work hard, go, go, go. Yeah, this is only Chinese. So put in the gas, it's like put in the gas, the car, and to yourself. One day, the animals in the forest should tell a joke, but if nobody laughs at it, it should be thrown to the ocean. The chickens said, but everybody laughs except the pig, so the chicken was thrown in the ocean. And next is the dog. And after telling the joke, everybody laughed except the pig, so the dog was thrown into the ocean. Next is the cat. And before telling jokes, the pig laughed. And the squirrel next to the pig asked, "Why are you laughing? It hasn't even started." Because the jokes told by the chicken and the dog are very funny. So the pig was very slow. So the teachers say, the topic of the composition today is I am the CEO. After a few minutes, the teacher asked Xiaoming, "How come you haven't started?" And then Xiaoming said, such little thing about composition, I should just ask my secretary to do it, because I am the CEO.